session, we shall be collaborating and practicing what we have learned in the morning session. We will actually go through just to show that we actually have understood what we learned in the morning. So we will be collaborating, we will be sharing experiences, and we are going to present a lesson. There are already 3 people who are lined up to present the lesson today. We have Wilter, we have Henry Munga, and we have else was lined up. We have Wilter, Henry Munga, and Jay Kims, the person who refers to himself as Jay Kims. So those are the people who will be presenting the lessons today. And the lesson will either be on numeracy or on literacy, all right? So either numeracy or literacy. And the lesson should actually be CBC compliant, such that we will have specific strands and sub-strands being presented. We shall have the student learning outcomes, and these are the foundational skills. We'll expect to see the essence statement in that lesson. We will also be looking out for competencies and abilities, and this is where we will be focusing on what we have learned today, that is assessing evidence. We also expect to see values. We expect to see pertinent contemporary issues, but most importantly in the lesson, we are going to look out for learning experiences and the learning activities, okay? And then the assessment. And the assessment, of course, we will be focusing on the 3 types of assessment. That is assessment for learning, assessment as learning is taking place, and of course, assessment of learning, and then we will do a reflection. So for this period, we would like to invite Wilter, who had requested last week to be enlisted as one of the teachers who are going to present their lessons. And the lesson will be 30 minutes. Okay, so this will actually be a full lesson. And then we will expect that the members of the class, the students, will give the teacher a feedback. And the feedback should be in the PIPS model that Dr. Giokos took you through in the morning. Okay, the PIPS model. So please pay attention to the PIPS model as we are giving assessment. So don't just say the lesson was good, or the teacher was nice, or the lesson was audible. Please give a full feedback. That is feedback. So that is what we are going to do, and you can see that everybody will be engaged in this session. So do not just assume that it is the teacher who is presenting the lesson that will be participating fully. We expect that everybody will be participating. If you have a pen and paper, please put it near you so that you don't forget the things that you'll have seen in the lesson. So Teacher Wilter, if you are ready, the time is yours now. We have 30 minutes. So unmute your mic, introduce yourself, introduce your lesson, and then get underway. Teacher Wilter.
Can see HO's hand is up.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I'm seeing you are daring me to take control. Please don't dare me. Check on your settings.
Teacher Wilter, if you can hear me, Teacher Wilter. Is Wilter on the list, Dr. G?
I'm looking at the list. She's not there, but we have Henry Munga there. We have Henry Munga there.
Yeah, Henry Munga, if you are ready, please present, because you are the second. As you're waiting for Wilter, then you can take us through so that we do not waste time. Teacher Henry,
just
please,
you Enos, maybe you can remind him, because he joined a bit late as you are speaking. Remind him about the lesson structure and all that.
Okay. So Henry Munga, unmute your mic so that we can converse here. The lesson will either be on numeracy or on literacy, and we will be looking at the strand and the substrand. We shall be looking at the learning outcomes, which are the foundational skills. We shall pay attention to the CBC model of lessons. So we shall be expecting the essence statement. We shall be expecting the competencies and abilities, values, and PCI. But very importantly, we shall be looking at the learning experience and the learning activity. And then we will also look at the assessment in your lesson. That is assessment planning, assessment and planning, and assessment learning. And then we expect the reflection. Then we shall. So if there be and please let's begin.
Okay, good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning, teacher.
I hope or trust you had a nice weekend. I will be it short.
Yes, we had a nice weekend.
Good morning.
You are welcome to Facebook. And the lesson today is on numeracy, mathematics. And we are carrying on from where we left off last week.
Yes.
So the strand is numbers. And the substrate is on multiplication. Is up to there, are we together, boys and girls?
Yes, we are together.
Yes, teacher.
That's good. And please talk to me. I feel quite lonely, so please give me feedback.
We are here with you.
So, thank you. So for the running outcomes or the objectives, my boys and girls, as we run this abstract, this is what we hope to run or to have learned by the end of it. That is, we shall be able to, one, multiply a 2-digit number with a 1-digit number without is multiply a 2-digit number. Right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Multiply a 2-digit number without carrying. And if I must say, boys and girls, the end of that, if we run together, that is what we may call knowledge. You gain a lot of knowledge there. The other outcome we are hoping to achieve by the end of the substrate or running outcome 2, able to group objects, for example, maize or bean grains in multiples of 10, that is in 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And why 70s? I think we shall go up to 70s because in this COVID-19 era, the maximum you can see, you can count ourselves in our classroom, we are 15. So we shall have 7 pairs of you. First pair, Giokos and Kenodia, second pair like that, up to 7. And the one who will be left floating will be my partner with the teacher. So, and as we do that successfully, we shall have learned the skill grouping at the end of the substrate. And lastly, but not least, we also hope that by the end of this substrate, you will appreciate the importance of multiplication in real life situations. We shall all be able to appreciate.
Munga, unmute yourself, please. Sorry, we are trying to reduce the noise behind. Unmute yourself again. I had to mute everybody because there was some radio behind. Sorry,
Okay.
continue.
I'm now okay, and I'm unmuted.
Yes, you are unmuted. Let's go.
Thank you. I was tackling running outcome 3 or objective 3 on the affective or the attitudinal aspect. Where am I saying? By the end of the subtract, and if the running is successful, the runners will appreciate the importance of multiplication in the real life situations. That was a brief overview of my running outcomes. Are we together up to there, boys and girls?
Yes, teacher.
We are together.
Thank you, thank you. Now, for this lesson, boys and girls, as we tackle this multiplication of 2-digit numbers with single-digit numbers, there is a question I need you to remember, or there is something I want you to be playing in your mind constantly. And the question that we shall be asking ourselves is, what situations at home, school, or in the community require us? Are we together? I repeat, what situations at home, school, or in the community require us to multiply? That is the question broadly that we shall be trying to answer in the course of our lesson today. I had asked you on Friday before we broke for the weekend to today the resources, maize or bean grains. How many of you did manage to bring along either maize or bean grains? Yeah, I can see around the classroom. That's a good response. That's good. You've cooperated. I had also asked each of you to bring a container. By a show of containers, different containers you can see. And I also asked you to, Nabakata, I was to make for you using a Manila paper. And you can see, can we see? Nabakata?
Yes, teacher.
I had prepared some, or I have prepared some over the weekend for you, and we shall be using them in the course of our lesson. Good. Resources done. We go to organization of learning, how I get to organize this lesson or session with my runners. That you runners, there's 15 of you. I had indicated earlier you'll be in pairs. That is a group of 2 per desk. So we shall have a total of 7 pairs, making a total of 14 runners.
Teacher, we are 33. Teacher, we are 33.
Oh, you are 33?
Yes.
By the time we left on Friday, you were 15. So, So thank you. Those others who have joined us today, they are from class 4 West. The teacher is absent. So can you join a group? Can you join a group? Let's have a group of 3. And let me have those who will not have a group to join me here in front. Is that okay?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Thank you. Everyone is comfortable. So having dispensed with such, any runner who is missing out on a pair or a group of 3, please feel free to join me here in front. So, class, in our previous lesson, now I've gone to the introduction, ladies and gentlemen. My introduction. Boys and girls. So, we have been tackling a number of lessons previously, and I remember the immediate past lesson. We derived this statement that multiplication is repeated addition. Everyone repeat after me: multiplication is repeated addition.
Multiplication.
Is repeated
Multiplication
addition.
is repeated
Again, some
addition.
of you are not very with us. So can I have you in unison answer that one? Multiplication is repeated addition.
Multiplication.
Multiplication is repeated addition.
Well stated. Thank you. And that means that when we multiply figures or numbers, when we multiply, it is the same as adding given figures or values for a given number of times. I repeat, when you multiply numbers or figures, say we have 2, and we are multiplying these 2 by 4. It is the same as adding that 2 4 times. Meaning it is the same as 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 8. So you have repeatedly added that 2 for the number of times 4. And that will give you 8. Are we together?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
So at this juncture, boys and girls, what I would wish you to do is to answer or respond to my question here. It's a simple question. Don't be worried. Individually, before now we go to our group. How would we know the number of pencils or pens you all have if each has one each? I repeat the question. Wagare, are we together? I repeat the question.
Teacher, we are writing in the chat. Teacher, we are answering our answers in the chat.
Oh, okay. And that will develop thinking and problem-solving ability. Remember the multi-perspective aspect of this. That question, how would we know the number of pens you all have if each has one each? Maina, can you share what you have posted on the chat?
I've written you add all of them.
Clap for them, the class, clap for him, sorry, clap for him. So if we are 33 here, and each one of us has 33 pencils or 33 pens, each one of you has a pencil or a pen, it means that the total number of pencils in this will be 33 times 1, all 1 added 33 times, and the same will apply for the number of pens. They'll be per head times 1. Meaning, if that was the case, we would all have 66 pens and pencils. Then, from here, we now break into our group or pairs, and this is what I want you to do. Now, I'll assign the 7 pairs I had originally.
Teacher, we are in our different homes.
In a container each, so pair 1, that is your container. And you see it?
Yes.
Pair 2, that is your container. Seen?
Okay.
Pair 3, we have one.
Okay.
Pair 4.
Okay.
Aspect. Pair 5. That's our container.
Mhm.
Pair 6
Okay.
and the pair 7. The last. Pair 7. All group 7. Are we there, boys and girls?
Yes.
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
Now that we have identified our pairs, I want the first pair or the first group. Using your container here, I want you to fill the container with 10 grains of beans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is good. The first group has filled their container with 10 grains of beans, and all the groups shall repeat that. That is group 2, 20, 3, 30 grains, up to 7, 70 grains. Are we together?
Yes, teacher.
Are we together?
Consolata.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Consolata.
How are you?
We are
Fine.
together, teacher.
Can hear you. Yes. Yes.
Our group, we have put
Teacher,
10.
someone.
Teacher,
Yes.
our group, we have put 10 grains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the container.
Excellent. That is group 1. What about group 2, group 3? Enos, Esther, are you through?
Yes, group 2.
You have what?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
For Enos's group, you feel 20. You feel 20.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Excellent
20.
job. And Esther's excellent job,
Our
Enos.
group.
Huh?
Our
Esther?
group.
Uh-huh.
We put how many?
Put 30.
How many?
30.
Okay.
30.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Wonderful job, everyone. Clap for yourselves. Clap for yourself. Good job so far. And I can see Moses' group, they have theirs with 40. And Stacey's group have filled with 50. And all the groups up to group number 7. That is good. From there, my dear boys and girls, what I need us to do is to select from the cutouts that I had shown you earlier. We have 10 of them, from 10 to, for example, those cutouts, someone read for us. What can you see? What can you see here?
Just move it. That is 10 times 5 is equal to 50.
10 times 5 is equal to
50.
I want someone to raise up their hand and tell me which group should this number cutout be appropriate for, given the container that we had filled earlier. We are talking of 10 times 5, 50. So which group? Is it the group with 10 grains in their container, 20, 70, 60? Who can tell me? which group will this cutout be appropriate for, depending on the number of grains in their container? Somebody?
Someone has raised their hand.
Uh-huh. Maybe probably you help me there.
Can you see them?
Can you see them? We have two people who have raised their hands.
Where do I need to click?
Click on the, Esther, maybe you can help. You just click on the people, where you have people, the faces of the people. Then you can see your students.
Let me see.
Can you see the faces of people down there?
Just a minute. Anyway, to save time, I would suppose that is Stacy.
No,
And
we
please-
have, let me help you. We have Hannington. Hannington,
Yeah.
please.
Huntington.
Hannington.
Yes,
Yes,
the
Huntington.
group of 50.
The group of 50, he is correct. Let us give him a heart clap. He is correct. So that group where Huntington belongs, that is group 5. Yeah, he has correctly identified that 10 grains in their container, they have 10 grains added 5 times. That is 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, which in multiplication, we say it is 10 times 5, and note the sign, times. Boys and girls, note the sign
Teacher.
for? Yes.
Teacher,
Yes.
Is 10 times 5 the same as 5 times 10?
It is the same. They are substitutable. A good question. The positioning of the digits, boys and girls, when you are multiplying, can be interchanged. And simply that means, if you say 10 times 5, you can reverse that. It is the same as 5 times 10. And it is adding 5 10 times or adding 10 5 times. Are we correct? Are we together?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Higher. There is another number cut out here, and let us repeat. And I want someone, boys and girls from any group, to kindly identify the mathematical statement or relationship shown here.
10 times 7.
Esther, that is excellent. Clap for Esther, everyone. And from among the class, who can come here now and identify the correct container to which this cutout is appropriate? 10 times 7. Which container will be best represented by this cutout? 10 times 7. Which container has 70 grains? Boys and girls, yes.
Dr. Patricia wants to answer.
She is free. Let's go ahead.
Teacher, I can't see the container. I'm looking for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the container is this. Can you see it?
Yes.
Can you see it? It's the biggest.
Yes. Yes, I can see it.
You can see it now, eh?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And count. Can I use mine?
Yeah, use yours.
Okay.
Go ahead.
3. I'm taking 10 bits at a time. So I'm going to take them. So 1, those are 10. 2,
Yes.
that is 20. 3,
Uh-huh.
that is 30. 4, that is 40. 5, that is 50. 6, that is 60. And then I take the last ones, 10. And 70. Am I right, teacher?
You are very right, Dr. Patricia. Boys and girls, is it not the best answer this morning? I might take crowd for Dr.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anytime. So far, what we have learned is that using multiples of 10, that is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, we can be able to see that it has listed multiplied by a single digit, like Dr. Patricia has identified. 10 times 7 is 70. So 7 is a single digit, while 10 is a two-digit number. And you can see we can be able to multiply numbers by repeatedly adding. And at this juncture, the last thing I want to do, or I want us to do there, still we are on the identification of relationships. Boys and girls, I have another number cut out here with a mathematical statement. You have seen it. Who can identify the correct container with that statement? Before we go on to do something else, hands up, class, boys and girls, are we together?
Yes, we are together.
Okay, so let me post it once more. I have this cut out. Can you see it?
Yes.
Can you see it?
You can see it. Yes.
Enos, so which container is best to rhyme with that cutout? The one containing?
Please show it again.
I'll show you again.
Yes. The one with 60. The container with 60.
Boys and girls, he is correct. The container with 60 grains right here will be represented by that cutout, meaning they put 10 grains. That group that have that container, when they were filling their container with grains, they put 10 grains each time 6 times for a total of. Are we together?
Yeah, together.
Okay. So we can write the following, and repeat boys and girls. What we have learned is multiplying. Can we all repeat after me? 10 times 1.
10 times 1.
What in essence that means that you multiply the digits in ones together. The digits in ones. When you say 10 times 1, remember our lessons on place value. In the 10, 0 is in the ones place value. Is that correct, boys and girls?
Yes.
Yes.
And the 1 is in the tens place value. So if you take the 2 digits there in the ones, that is 0 times 1, and multiply them together, it is 0 times 1, which is 0. Are we together? I'm saying, I repeat, maybe that is not very clear, boys and girls. If we refer to our previous lessons on place value and by extension value, do we remember those concepts, boys and girls? Place value. Who can remind us place value? Esther, remind us place value of numbers starting with the whole numbers, that is not decimal. Start with the smallest value going up. Esther, please.
Teacher, we have ones, tens and hundreds and thousands.
Correct, boys and girls. Is she correct?
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Teacher, the
correct.
monitor is saying the other teacher is at the door.
The teacher is?
At the door.
Oh, so, okay, I get it. So Esther has reminded us, boys and girls, that the value of number in terms of their possession, we start with the smallest, and that is whole numbers. Start with the smallest value called ones, then immediately above 10, like that. So if I have 10, which digit there in 10? 10 is 1 and 0. Which digit there is in the place value of 1?
0.
0.
0. Which digit there in 10 again is in the place value of tens?
1.
What does that mean? So when we derive a statement here, mathematical statement 10 times 1, it means we are multiplying the 10 above with the 1 below. And if we can break apart that statement, it means the 0 in 10, which is a 1, will be multiplied with the 1 below, which again is a 1, to give us 0. 0 times 1 is 0. Remember, boys and girls, 0 multiplied by any number is 0. Repeat after me. 0 multiplied by any number is 0.
0 multiplied by any number is 0.
0 times 1 is 0, as that statement bears out. Then we go to the 1 now in the total value of 10 times 1. It gives you 10 times 1, which is 10. So 10 times 1 is 0 plus 10, and that gives you 10. Are we there, boys and girls?
Yes.
So if you have understood that, let me see by boys and girls being kind enough and raising their hand. If 10 times 1 is 10, what about 20 times 1?
20.
Minor?
20.
Excellent. 30 times 1? Esther?
We have John Kibe.
30 times 1 using the previous relationship. John Kibe, go ahead.
30.
30. Kudos. Enos, 40 times 1. Only volunteer for that matter, 40.
40.
Kudos. Good job. 50 times 1.
Wamwere.
Amweri. Uh-huh.
50.
Peter Kinodia putting up his hand.
50.
Peter.
50.
50.
I'm saying 50.
So you can see, we are getting products. Product is the answer we get after multiplying. We are getting products of a 2-digit number and a single digit. And it doesn't matter whether it is 1 or 2. If you have 20 times 2, it is the same as saying 20 add to another 20 because we have 2 20s. 11 times 3 is 11 plus 11 plus 11, and so forth and so on. Now, any question up to there before I go on to conclude the lesson? Any question, boys and girls? You can post that question as a group, a pair, or individually. Feel free. Is it silent means consent? So we've understood 100%. Silence means consent. So Esther, I see a puzzled expression on your face. Are we together?
We are together, teacher.
Yeah, I need to be reassured. Minor?
We are together, teacher.
We are together.
Yes.
Yes.
That is good to hear. Well done. So in concluding, I want us now to rehearse or to identify what is it that you have learned today. And I want you to repeat after me. 1, multiplication is repeated addition. Everyone?
Multiplication is repeated addition.
Where we gave the example that 2 times 4 is the same as 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 8. The other important thing that we have been able to learn in our lesson today, and I would request that we repeat together, is that multiplication is a faster method of performing many additions together. Multiplication is a faster or a quicker method of performing many additions together. Boys and girls, have you gotten that?
Multiplication is a faster method of doing many additions together.
Correct. So, as we are headed to the end of our lesson, boys and girls, this is what I need you to go do at home in furtherance of our lesson today. I want you to fill 10 containers. Today we had 7. I want you to fill 10 containers as we used in our lesson today with the bean grains, each carrying 10 grains. I repeat, fill 10 containers with bean grains, and into each container have 10 grains. Then write cutouts as we have shown you, cutouts showing the multiplication statement. If, for example, we have the container with the 20, just a minute. So this is what we have used during the lesson. So as you do this at home, I want you to model what we have used in class. This is what we are calling a cutout. You can use a manila paper or a piece of paper, a cardboard. Then on the container, having 20, that is the statement that I need you to paste on the side of the container. That is 10 times 2, 20. Those with 30, and so on, up to 100. So who can tell us?
Teacher, can I use the numbers on my calendar? Can I cut out the numbers on my calendar?
You're absolutely free, Minor, to do that. Feel free.
Thank you.
There are many ways of killing a rat. So, before we conclude the lesson and close, on that container that shall have 100 grains, what will be the statement? Someone, a boy or a girl? Remember, you'll go fill up 10 containers at home. Each container shall have, so for that container that shall have 100 grains, what will be the mathematical statement? Someone has a guess? 10 times, heads up. Remember, you are repeatedly adding 10 plus 10 plus 10.
10 times 10.
Oh, to save time, that will be 100. 100. So, I want now to end the lesson by reflecting, and I need you to give me feedback. And what was good with today's lesson, boys and girls? What was good with today's lesson? To respond.
Teacher, I was allowed to bring my container and to add grains.
Very good. Esther, what observation?
I was allowed to participate by counting.
Very well. And was
Every student was given an opportunity to participate.
Excellent. And in the same vein, what is it that you didn't particularly like about the lesson and probably needs improving next time? From the plenary?
Kinudia is saying something.
Okay, the crapping was a bit too much, eh? Noted.
The English teacher has gone back to the staff room.
Edith says, teacher Edith says that Edith says I was allowed to answer.
All right. So we shall take very much appreciated all
took
those.
Too long.
Okay. Noted, and that is what I was able to do. Good morning.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mwalimu.
Thank you so much.
We'll need to now give him feedback. But before we do that, those who can be visible, let us give him the Nyayo claps, but using sign language. So let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. So thank you so much, Mwalimu. Now we are going to give him feedback. And remember, we said that the feedback should follow the PIPs. We should praise on something that he did. We should improve on, or should give some suggestions for improvement. We should give a positive overall praise, and we need to supply an uplifting comment, to our very happy teacher. That was the happiest teacher I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so can we have somebody give him a feedback using the PIPs model? Someone.
Enos, I've given mine there. Maybe you can read, then I've given
on the
mine.
chat, Okay, let me see, unless it has gone up. Let me see. Okay, praise. Maina says that, sorry, let me see. So for praise, Maina said something specific of excellent. Let me see. Praise something specific. Yes, please read because, please read for me because there's something that keeps coming up. I can't read properly.
Okay, praise. Praise something.
We can't hear you, Daktari.
Excellent presentation of an. Oh dear. Can you hear me?
No, we can't hear you, Daktari. You are cutting off. Esther, can you be able to read?
From the WhatsApp, I can see Esther Boy saying.
Dr. Maina's comments.
No, my chat is inactive today. I don't know why at this moment.
Okay.
Maybe from the WhatsApp.
Okay, Dr. Patricia, please go on.
Okay, I have it now.
Yes, Dr.
Hear me now? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Praise.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Dr. You have cut off. Let's listen to Esther. Yes, Esther.
Okay, it says praise.
Something
excellent
presentation. Giokos involved. I don't know.
Okay, Esther, go on.
It says excellent presentation of an online class. For improve, he says look at the charts and involve diverse students. For the overall praise, he says the aspect of number multiplication was brought out very well. And for the S, he says this is an excellent session. if it is the first time in an online environment. Well done, Henry.
Yeah, that's an uplifting comment. Thank you, Dr. Maina, for those comments. Now I'll throw back this to the rest of the class. I'm giving you a few minutes to give your tips, comments, and feedback to the teacher. So you can type in the chat, you can type in WhatsApp, and if you raise up your hand, we will give you an opportunity to speak to us. So can we take a few moments to do that?
From the WhatsApp,
yes.
Frida says use of learning aids was great. Then there was great involvement of learners. Given opportunity, I would be in your class again.
Good. That was one. So Wilter says, well planned for the lesson, improved on time, overall good lesson. You can teach the lesson using the online platform. Peter Kinodia said the teacher is jovial and creates a very good and conducive environment. And then he needs to work on navigation. Lois Modoni says the teacher used all aspects of learning outcomes, improve on explanation about groups and items, use of learning and teaching aids, and the teacher was well prepared for the lesson and involved all the learners. Joyce Kimanga, a good lesson, check on time, maybe by giving group work, the aspect of motivation well laid out, great lesson, Munga. Edith says mine already there before Dr. Maina. Okay, I didn't see it, sorry.
Enos,
Yes?
as you are reading, I think we also need to consider the teacher was trying to teach online. So we
Yes.
also consider that, yeah.
Yes, that's very true. Okay, so Wilter, you need to be preparing for the next lesson. You're the one who is coming up next. But I think, as everybody has said, that lesson was very well displayed. The teacher was actually very prepared, very audible, and very jovial. He was actually smiling and laughing with the students. But the teacher also needs to consider the objective. We talked about the objective. In this case, we are talking about the learning outcome. What's next after the objective? I said that the student should be able to multiply a 2-digit number with 1-digit number. That's a perfect objective for the teacher, but for the student as a learning outcome. After they've been able to multiply the 2-digit number with the 1-digit number, what next? Okay, so when you add what next, then that becomes a perfect learning outcome. So that is something that we need to consider, Mwalimu. Then there was a good use of group work and teaching resources, learning resources. Those were very well displayed. Despite the fact that this was an online lesson, he made an attempt to use learning resources and made an attempt to create groups and gave opportunities for all learners to participate. And overall, the teacher was very positively motivated, and therefore this went into the learners. So thank you so much. That was a wonderful lesson. If you'd like to share with us the lesson plan, we really, really appreciate it. So, Wilter, over to you, Esther.
Okay, so maybe as a final comment on that, so that the upcoming teachers, if you can use the other participants other than the facilitators so that they also feel part and parcel of the class. All right, so Wilter, if you can hear me, kindly unmute yourself. Wilter. Is she there?
Yes, she's there. So,
okay, great.
I'm here. Can you see me?
We can hear you, but not see you.
We cannot see you. And maybe you...
What can I do? You see me?
Turn your video on.
Turn your video on.
Yes.
Maybe Teacher Henry, you can turn off your video so that we can get space for Wilter. on the screen. Thank you. Shall we turn on your screen, your video?
The video?
Yes.
Yes. The video is next to the microphone.
Yes.
Just click on it and then your video will be on.
Yes, I've done that.
Okay. Can't see you. Anybody who can see, I can't see myself.
I have turned the video on. Can you see me?
No, we can't still.
Oh, what can I do? The video, I'm turning it on, but it's not recording.
It's not responding.
It is not showing.
Once it is on, just speak, then it's going to show.
Yeah, point, yeah.
Yes.
Just go ahead, yeah.
So my lesson was on the learning area.
Madam Wilter?
Yes.
We are in your class. We are your students. You are teaching us now.
So I was teaching. Right away, I go to teaching.
Yes.
So is the video on?
No, just go ahead.
Just continue.
Yeah, so today, learners, good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
How are you?
Very fine.
We are very fine.
Yes, today it is now time for hygiene and nutrition. And we are going to learn about food. And I want us to sing this song, all of us together. Are you there?
Oh, yeah. Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
So we sing, watermelon, watermelon, pie, 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 banana, 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 all are sweet, all are sweet. Yes, let us sing all of us together, class. Watermelon, watermelon, pie, pie,
banana, banana, all are sweet.
All are sweet.
Sweet.
Yes. So today we want to see what we call basic food tests. Basic food tests. So we have 4 of them. We have bitter. Can you say bitter?
Bitter.
Sour.
Sour.
Sweet.
Sweet.
And salty.
Salty.
Yes, they are the 4 basic food tests: bitter, sour, sweet, and salty. So, can you see the picture, the card? Can you read? Are you seeing it? Are you seeing the card?
Salty.
Yes, salty.
Can you say salty?
Salty.
Yeah, we have bitter. Are you seeing bitter?
Yes.
We have sour, some food taste sour that we take in our homes, sour. And then we have others that taste sweet, others that taste sweet. Yeah. Now, we want to see, can you tell me Enos? Where is Enos?
I'm here.
Tell me the food that you take at home that tastes sweet.
Sugar.
Sugar. Yes, just say two of them, sugar and cake.
Yes.
Yes, but now cake is not so good to our diet because it is too sugary. So we moderate the sugar in some our foods like tea. Sawa sawa.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it tastes sweet. Esther.
Yes, teacher.
That's the food that we take at home that it tastes bitter. Bitter.
I ate a lemon.
Yes.
And it tasted bitter and sour.
No, it tastes bitter. It doesn't taste sour. It tastes bitter. Good. And then we have another one that tastes salty. Salty, in some cases, is the food that we put salt in it. Ile chumvi tunanunua kwa duka, tunaleta, tunaweka kwa mboga. Sawa sawa.
Yes.
We have the vegetables like this one. See them, they are called pumpkin leaves. They are called pumpkin leaves. So when we cook, we add salty. No, now when we are taking, it tastes salty. It tastes salty. The vegetables, when they are cooked, we add salt so that it tastes now salty. Then we have the last one said is sour, like sour milk. Kuna wale watu wanapenda kwenda supermarket wananunua maziwa wanakuja kulia ugali. Inaitwa sour milk. Sawa sawa.
Teacher, is it the
Yes.
same as mala? Is it the same as mala?
Ndio hiyo wengine wanaita hivyo mala, maziwa mala. Yeah, sour milk. Sour milk inaitwa maziwa mala. Sawa sawa.
Yes.
Now you go to your book. First, I had displayed here the food. You can see. These are the vegetables. When they are cooked, you add salt. It becomes salty. We have an apple. You see the apple?
Yes.
The apple tastes sweet. The apple tastes sweet. So I want you to turn to page 40 in your books, please, my learners. In your books, page 40, we have a quiz that we are going to do. It talks about fill in the blank spaces using vowels. Fill in the blank spaces using vowels. Do you remember the vowels that your teacher in English taught you? Yes? Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you.
Yeah, the vowels. The vowels are A, E, I, O, A. Those are the sounds A, E, I, O, A. They are the vowels. And now you are going to answer the blank spaces. As you can see, we have the blank spaces. The first one is sour, the foods that we eat that taste sour. So you are going to fill the blank spaces here. Are you seeing the work?
Yes, you can see them.
Yeah, it is in your book. So can you do 5 minutes as I go around marking the work and assisting those who are not getting it correctly? 5 minutes.
Are we doing it in the chat, teacher? Are we in the chat?
No, it is in your books, please. I was showing you where it is. It's on page 40. Open page 40, hygiene and nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
Umeona?
Yes.
Yes, can we write our answer on the chat?
It is a written quiz, so you write in your exercise book. You write in your exercise book.
But teacher, how are you going to mark? And we want you to see our answers in the chat.
And we are at home.
Now, after you have done, mutapiwa picha na wazazi.
Okay.
Sawa.
Okay.
Teacher, allow us to write on the chart so that we can see the answers.
Okay.
Okay, we have there the chart. So let me use the chart. We have
Yes,
the chart
teacher.
there. We have sour, we have bitter, sweet, and salty. Meona,
Take it a bit back, teacher.
Yeah.
We see take it a bit back.
umemaliza Maina? Umemaliza?
Yes, nimaliza.
Yes.
So I can see most of you have filled in the blank spaces.
You can see in our
Except
chat, teacher.
Esther.
If you look in our
Can you
chat,
see
can
our answers on the chart? Check on the
Yes,
chart.
we
I
are
have
going to
written
fill
my
them.
answer.
Okay.
You have written your answer. I will mark, and
Yes.
you will send it through my WhatsApp. Sasa atakusaidia
Okay.
unitumie. Sawa.
Okay, teacher.
So today, yes, I have marked and I've seen Maina, you have got everything, but sawa, kwa sawa umeweka A. Sawa. Inastahili kuwa O. O for sour.
Teacher, I am hearing you saying sour every
Bitter
time. That is why I wrote sour.
Bitter is E. Sorry.
Could be
Bitter
sir.
is E. Is A. Alafu kwa salt tunaweka A. Sawa sawa.
Sour.
Hizo ndio vowels. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can
we can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Yes. Now, today we have learned about the food tests. And when you are going to the market with your parents, you can be able to see the foods that taste sweet from your grocery. Your mother goes to the grocery, you can see how he or she picks the foods. And you, as a learner, you can remember that I taught you there are those foods that taste bitter, there are those that taste sweet, there are those that taste sour, and there are those that taste salty. Sawa sawa. Now your homework. In your homework, I want you to go with your parents. You be able to draw and color. You draw and color the following foods. You draw and color the following foods. Are we there? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we are going to draw and color the following foods. We have lemon. Draw and color the following foods. Lemon, apple, and our milk in glass. Sour milk in the glass.
Okay.
Sour milk in the glass. Now I want you to be learners. In our lesson today about the 4 basic food tests, what have you understood? What went on well? Enos, can you tell me, please?
The teacher showed us
Enos.
the names on. Yes, I can hear you. The teacher showed us the names on the chart. The teacher showed us the words on the chart.
Enos.
The teacher showed us the words on the chart. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another one. Another one, what went well?
I have known how to write the word sawa. I have known how to write the word sawa.
Which sawa?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Where can we improve, please? Where can we improve?
I can see Matthew's hand is up.
Yeah, let him say. You say what you want to say. Matthew. Sawa. I cannot hear Matthew.
Esther Wamboi, she's saying something. Esther Wamboi Ndongo.
Wamboi, can you say something that we need to improve on our lesson?
Elena says the song was good, but improve on connectivity.
Sawa. We shall improve on connectivity. The network is very low here. Sawa, we will improve there. So we have concluded our lesson. Please, learners, as you go home, do the homework together with your parents. Make sure when you go to buy things, ensure you see the basic foods that I have told you and their tests. And remember to use them in our diet, balanced diet at home. Bye, and greet your parents. Goodbye.
Thank you, teacher. Okay, so thank you very much, Wilta, for that lesson.
Yes.
I would like us to give our feedback. Some of it has already been given, but would like everyone to participate because we are learning from each other and we need to know how to use the PIPS model to give the feedback. So kindly input your feedback on the chat and WhatsApp, and then we are going to have it and she will access so that she can be able to improve. That was very great. That was a bold step, Wilta, and with the feedback we get, I know we are going to have an improvement. So 2 minutes, we input our feedback. And as we do that, I want to call on Dr. G to give the feedback. Dr. if you can hear me?
We're waiting for the pips. We see how people are sharing their pips so that we can learn from them, because we are excited to hear how you are writing your pips. But thank you, Madam, for what you have shared. I think it was what Esther has said, heroic, that you attempted it, and we are all learning. And I'll just urge everybody, we take this opportunity to try and learn how to give feedback, how to teach online. We can use this opportunity to do our lessons online. Remember, all learners are in different places. So when you are setting activity, set activities the way Esther and Enos was doing and the way I did yesterday, knowing that the learner are in their own homes. Therefore, the kind of activity you give is important. Secondly, try to use chat. And if you're not able to chat, ask one of us to be your assistant so that we can be reading for you what your students are saying in chat. This is a very opportune opportunity for all of us to sharpen our skills on teaching online, as well as we are improving on how to enhance the core skills. So thank you, Madam Wilter, for coming with food, sharing us the word sour, bitter, sweet, I'm sure the learner will now be able to relate to that, and you have taken some time of giving them work, which they'll go home and they'll also do some work. We might need to rethink on the work we do at home. Sometimes it is advisable that they continue doing community service, meaning that when they are going to shop, when mom wants to do something, they can help and go and help buying things. And when they come, they can explain, because some children are in homes whereby the parents are not literate. They can now explain those words: sweet, tamu, sour, chachu, bitter, ukali. So they can be able to use that. And thank you, madam, for your code switching, because sometimes children don't understand the words you're using. So when you code switch, they're able to understand what you mean. You are also able to bring examples, for example, mala, of the food children use. So you connected the real life to that. And you also gave an example about which you could have stretched to obesity, eating healthy food. That is a PCI. So there was an element of PCI. I was looking for a value. I'm sure it is there about caring and responsibility, but the value did not come out well. Maybe you could think about that. But I also like your questioning, because you are questioning a lot. You are throwing questions and you are giving people to give answers. So that is a good trial. Thank you very much, Madam Wilter, and I look forward to seeing another lesson from you.
Thank you very much for that feedback, Daktari. I would like also to give Madam Priscilla, I don't know whether you're in the house today.
Dr. Patricia is there.
Okay, Dr. Patricia.
Thank you, Esther. The teacher was, I like she was very audible, so we could hear her very well, and the involvement of learners was quite good, and it was very exciting to the way Dr. Miner has said about the switching of the language, so that the children would understand the language. And I also like the way she was calling the students by name, the learners by name, especially when asking the question. I could hear him talk about Enos and the rest. That was commendable. Now, again, the value, I think there was a question that would have come, that the learners would be able to give out other than the ones that the teacher gave. We would have given us a variety of other foods. We as the students give those, so that she can be able to be sure that the learners actually got the concept. Otherwise, I enjoyed very, very much. Despite the fact of the connectivity, it was well done. Keep it up, and kudos.
Thank you very much, Daktari, for your feedback. I think I concur with all of you. The specific areas were shared with the learners, that is the strand and the substrand. There was learner involvement, and there was reflection done, and the extended activity were also given. The activities were also well sequenced from known to unknown, which was quite commendable. And the teacher was very confident and bold, using the online and displaying all those foodstuffs. We really commend you for that. As has been mentioned, for all of us, as we teach online, let us use the other aspects like chat and WhatsApp as we are teaching, right? If you're not able, like Dr. G has said, let somebody assist you. Then the learning outcomes, I did not get them very well, because you're talking about the cognitive learning outcome, the psychomotor, and also the affective. I did not get them clearly, but the strand and the others were shared. Then the other question that we need to ask ourselves as we teach is, if you are focusing on assessing evidence, was it there? So today we are focusing on assessing evidence. You should always ask yourself, is it there? Is it being displayed? Is it coming out? Okay. And then tomorrow we shall be doing a different attribute. So we need to focus on these things as we go by. So I would like to encourage each one of us. Let's take this opportunity to practice and learn how we can teach online. So kudos to our teachers today. And the various activities were also taken into care. There was collaboration, there was discussion in both the previous and the latter class. There was also practice by the students and outcome of that. So as we come to the end of our session, I would like you to populate your e-portfolio. Remember, this e-portfolio is very important because it is from this that you will pick activities that you are going to replicate in your schools and in your classroom. So kindly populate your e-portfolio. What is adoptable and what is adaptable? So we can input that in our chat. What are you taking from these? Kindly let's take a minute to populate our portfolio through our chats and WhatsApp so that we can be able to share. So I'm waiting for that in a minute or so because of time. I'm not able to access my chat, so maybe Enos, you can read for me anything that comes up.
So far, nothing is up, madam. So far, nothing.
Okay.
Let me see on WhatsApp. I can hear some messages coming in.
And as you are writing, we also need volunteers for tomorrow. And tomorrow you can do either multiple perspective or assessing evidence. So if you want to volunteer for tomorrow, you can also come up. We like names. Remember, I think J. Kim's Enos did not present today.
Yes.
Yeah, so he'll present tomorrow.
So if she can present tomorrow.
Sorry, yeah.
So J. Kim's, please prepare yourself. And we need somebody else. Can we get 2 more volunteers for tomorrow? Or if you want to present tomorrow, just raise up your hand. We see as many as who are able to present tomorrow.
So Rose says, I'm attending assessing evidence session and it's enjoyable. I'm grateful to learn new things today.
That is our reflection, and also at the end, that Rose must be from another class.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
From our class, yes.
There is one on the WhatsApp from, I think, Michael Macharia, using evidence while teaching, as well as using PIPs as you conclude the lesson. Florence Wajiro says, use of real object when teaching. Kibe John says, the use of PIPs for positive feedback, which is effective.
Thank you. So we would like to reflect as we end the lesson. Can you write your reflection by finishing the tweet from there? You say, at @British, I am attending assessing evidence session, and can you finish that sentence as part of your tweet when we are finishing our session? A tweet cannot be having more than 144 characters, not more than 20 words. So we want you to finish with that statement. You can see on the screen. We want you to post that so that we finish the session and we close. You have 2 minutes. I am attending assesses evidence, and you complete that sentence. Michael W says use of PIPs. K, use of digital platform in delivering a session. We want somebody to complete that sentence, at least 3 people, so that we can close. And we also want volunteers for tomorrow. We already have J. Kims, so anybody else, so that we have a name for tomorrow. Enos, can you see any hand up for tomorrow?
Not yet.
So Lois is saying, I'm attending assessing evidence session and I have learned a lot. Thank you, Lois.
Specify the learning a lot, maybe.
Yes, Lois, maybe tell us about a lot. We have 1 minute, so I think Esther, Enos, Dr. Patricia, thank you very much for the session, and we need to close. If you have any other remarks, you can share them in the WhatsApp, because we are still in WhatsApp. I'd like to ask a volunteer to lead us with prayer.
Can we do a random selection to those who will present tomorrow?
We only have L. Kims now, so we want J.K. Kimes will present tomorrow. We need somebody else. Nancy, will you present tomorrow? Nancy Mushiri? Are you ready to present tomorrow?
J.K. Kimes and presented on Friday.
Yes, but she didn't present a whole lesson. She said she wants to present a whole lesson.
But everybody should be ready, because we are saying we need to practice and learn. I can see Nancy's hand is up.
So
yes,
will you
Nancy?
present?
Yeah, Nancy.
Unmute yourself.
Yes, I will.
Okay, so we have Nancy. We haven't. Okay, get ready tomorrow. Remember, we'll be your students, and you can either use assessing evidence, what you learned today, or consider multiple perspectives. So prepare your lesson.
Okay.
And because you are still online, can you pray for us so that we close this session? Nancy.
Okay. Our God and our Father, we come before you this afternoon with thanksgiving for the way you have taken care of each one of us, oh God. We don't take it for granted, the fact that we have good health and you have made us see this. We give you the glory and honor. Thank you even for today's session. We thank you for the presenters, and we pray that God, you continue protecting them so that they may be able to educate us well. We pray for ourselves as students. God, give us the energy to participate and even to concentrate. We give you all the glory, of God. For in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
So if you have any idea, any thoughts, please share them. Any concern, any challenge, please share them on WhatsApp. So I'd like to thank everybody, and I'm just checking if we have anybody from South Africa visiting today. I don't seem to have any, so I think they did not join in the afternoon. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Enos. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Dr. Patricia. Thank you, Hannington, the facilitation team. That was good. Let's wave as we say bye-bye. See you tomorrow at 8 o'clock sharp.
Bye-bye.
Remember, the session is recorded. You can see it in class. So